To the costume shop we go. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Costume shop, costume shop. To ask about the nose. And maybe some other things. La Risée du Mont. Well, this is definitely a shop of some kind. That's just any kind. A costume shop.
The dummy wore a traditional Pierrot costume. At least, I guess it was a dummy.
Well, some mannequins can look very lively. Hey, Cass. I haven't missed anything.
I gave the dummy Pierrot a tentative prod, but it didn't move.
So, it is a mannequin then.
She reminded me of a girl I dated back in high school. Come to think of it, the dummy had more personality.
Ha! Zing!
As I was about to touch the dummy, I realized it had the same color eyes as Nico. The strange thing was, I hadn't realized I'd noticed the color of Nico's eyes.
Well, sometimes you don't. You just realize later that, they had that colored eyes.
It was a disgustingly realistic plastic novelty. Like one I'd left on the teacher's desk at school. Boy, that caused so much of a stink you'd have thought it was a real one.
Poop! Funny poop.
As my fingers closed on the plastic novelty, I realized my mistake.
That's real?
It was a novelty, all right, but it wasn't plastic.
That's real dog shit on the floor? Ah! Nice, game makers. Nice.
The guy's spoon-shaped face was mournful and humorless. He looked like a vegetarian in a slaughterhouse.
And yet he owns a costume shop. Funny man.
Excuse me.
Bonjour, monsieur.
Yeah, bonjour.
Please, come in. Welcome. Leave the mundane world behind, for in these four walls, fantasy is king.
Yeah, I can tell.
I don't want a costume.
Didn't you ever dress up when you were a child?
Not that I remember.
I did.
Incredible. You'll be telling me next that you never shared your elder sister's lingerie.
I don't have a sister, and I think I'd look pretty silly in a brassiere. I just need some information.
I'll talk to him.
How can I help you?
Please don't talk to him anymore. That guy's weird. So, let's ask him some questions.
I'm looking for a man who hired a clown costume from you.
Oui, monsieur. I do not see how I can help.
Don't you keep a record of costumes that you've rented out?
Of course, monsieur, but...
Well, then I'd like to check your records. Give me the names of everyone who's rented a clown suit.
Impossible. There are too many.
The clown I'm looking for is a cold-blooded killer. Give me his name, and I'll see he's brought to justice.
I'd help you if I could, but you can't expect me to remember all my customers.
How about the ledger?
You see, the clown costume is our most popular line, monsieur.
Is it now?
On average, we hire out more than 30 clown suits a week. You'll have to give me more to go by. A description, perhaps?
How about a picture?
Do you recognize this man?
Ah oui, he was here this morning.
How come clowns are so popular?
I think it has something to do with their unpredictable nature.
Personally, I think clowns should be banned, along with mimes.
Good on ya.
Oh, come now. Who doesn't love clowns?
Me, for one.
Well, not everybody loves clowns. To some people, clowns are actually very freaky. I don't really mind clowns. Mimes, on the other hand?
Do you want this red nose back?
Not after it's been worn, thank you.
Does this dirty tissue mean anything to you?
Let me smell that.
Smell? Shouldn't you just feel it?
Bestheimer's number 7 white pancake.
Theatrical grease paint, right?
Oui, monsieur. La crème de la crème of Thespian accoutrement.
Have you sold any of it recently?
Yes, 2 cans.
Toucan Sam?
About this tissue.
I have already given you my professional opinion.
Have you heard of a man named Plantile?
I do not recall anyone of that name.
Okay.
Are you sure this is the man who bought grease paint?
Oui, monsieur. He chose 2 costumes. Bozo the clown and Seamus the pixie.
A pixie?
Very smart. Green silk with a taffeta lining. He gave me his name as Monsieur Khan.
Khan. Mm-hmm. So we have a name. And also, Pixie, who has green. Are you sure you don't mean Leprechaun?
Thanks for your help, buddy.
My pleasure, monsieur. Allow me to shake you by the hand.
Huh? Well, okay.
Oh, great. A joy buzzer. Well, he was happy.
What are you trying to do, kill me?
You did not find it amusing?
I never saw the funny side of electroshock therapy.
Eh bien, it is yours to keep. A gift?
Do I need a license?
No, but I give you a word of warning, monsieur.
What?
Remember to switch it off before you visit the toilet.
I actually had one of these novelty items back in the day. It's not even electric, it's just a thingamajig in the middle, like a small knob that twirl. When you shake somebody's hand and they push it down, it starts to twirl really fast, and that creates the illusion that it's giving you an electric shock when it's just pretty much massaging the palm of your hand. It's not. It may have friction on it that may cause a slight static shock because it's metal after all. But otherwise, it's just massaging against your skin. Of course, if your skin is more, let's say, sweaty or just moisturized than normal, then the static shock might actually have more effect on it. Yeah, I know that there are maybe some that use electricity, but mostly the novelty is that it's just a knob that turns around. Because it's a lot safer, that one. It gives the illusion of an electric shock when it's not. And it's a lot safer that way. Especially for kids. I was a kid when I bought it. I was like 9 years old. So yeah. Let us go back to Nico. So we can use the phone and call Todrick and tell him we have a name. You always open it so gently, don't you, George?
Salut, George. What news?
I've been to the costume shop.
We have a name.
Yeah, I like it. What are you supposed to be?
I didn't hire a costume. These are my clothes, and you know it.
Funny.
Did you ask about the clown?
Yeah. He used the name Khan. He hired 2 costumes, the clown and a pixie.
Then we're one jump ahead of him.
How do you make that out?
Not really.
He probably plans to use the pixie suit next time he kills.
Oh, really?
Oh, God, don't let it be me. I don't deserve to die at the hands of a pixie.
Don't be silly, George. That won't happen.
Are you sure?
Oh, no?
No, because every time you see a pixie, you're going to run like hell.
Yeah, she's right about that. We would be watching for a pixie. Definitely. But also, how are we one step ahead? We just only know what costume he has. We don't know his next target, who it would be, where the target is. So, yeah, we're still in the same spot as before, Nico. You're not much of an investigative person, are you? Even if you are a photojournalist, investigation doesn't seem to be your strong suit. Just keep taking those pictures, baby. Keep it at that.
What are you doing to help trace the killer clown?
Sitting on her ass.
Research, George.
Yeah? You have a copy of the clown's yearbook?
I have a telephone and lots of contacts.
Oh. Well, did you find anything useful?
Not yet. I'm employing my first and most useful weapon.
What's that?
Patience.
Oh, I've heard of that. Isn't it a substitute for decisive thinking?
Zing! Bada boom! Don't give her a hard time there, George. She's trying her best. I mean, she is a freelancer. She might have a lot more context than you think. Journalists usually do have a lot of contacts to ask around. But then again, where would she go to ask about... Not many people believe in her theory anyway, so...
Have you found out any more about the murders?
Well, it may be nothing, but both the clown's victims visited Paris earlier this year.
When?
The second week of July. They were both here at the same time.
Did they meet?
I don't know, but I can't imagine it was coincidence.
Well, it seems like they do go hand in hand together. If they were here at the same time, in the same place, they might have met each other, and that is why they are being killed.
May I use your telephone?
Sure, go ahead.
Thanks.
Alright, Todrick. Tell us
Hello?
about Colin.
Who is this?
Your-
It's George Stobart again.
Your worst
What
nightmare.
now? I found out the name of the guy I'm looking for. Is that so?
Yes.
Yeah. It's Khan. You know who I'm talking about, don't you?
Khan!
Yes, I delivered the suit to his hotel. The Hotel Ubu. I don't remember the room number. It was upstairs. The second room on the right-hand side of the corridor.
Thanks, Todrick. That's all I wanted to know. Now I've got you, Mr. Clown. Now we're getting somewhere. Do you know the Hotel Ubu?
Yubu? Yes, I do.
That's where the clown stayed.
Good work, George.
Well, he could still be staying there. We don't know. Should I shake her hand? Just to be an asshole? Yeah, let's do
The
that.
guy at the novelty shop gave me this.
What is it?
A hand buzzer. You put it in your hand and give people electric shocks.
Why?
It's a gag. A practical joke.
If you ever use it on me, I'll break your arm.
Okay. I get the picture.
Sit, Ubu, sit. Good boy. Good dog.
See you later.
Where
Yeah.
are you going now?
I could go hang out at the Hotel Ubu.
Where do you think
Watch
we're
out for
going?
Khan, George.
Don't worry, I will.
Oh, for fuck's sake, lady. How stupid are you? Where are you gonna go now? How about the going after the lead we just got 2 seconds ago? Bitch. Oh, Nico. Let's go bowling. I'm seriously, she's like Roman. Roman, my cousin, I cannot go bowling right now. I should play GTA 4 again at some point. That game was good. I liked it. Frustrating as hell sometimes, but it was good. So, Hotel Ubu. Or Ubu. Hey, yeah, Hotel Bubu. Post the police. Let's go talk to some cops. We do have some information to give them, if they are willing to listen.
Excuse me.
Ah, Monsieur Stobart, n'est-ce pas?
Yep.
That's correct. You remember me.
The retention of such data is part of my duty as a gendarme.
Cool.
That is how crime is fought, through attention to detail, not intuition.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sure.
Well, he's right. You gotta have some, detail and stuff, otherwise they wouldn't be solving anything.
I've tracked down the clown's movements, Sergeant.
Is that so, monsieur?
Oui, oui.
Yeah. There's a man down the street who saw him crawling out of the sewer.
Dressed as a clown?
No, he changed into ordinary clothes by then.
So, how did he know it was the clown?
He didn't, but all the clues add up.
Little children can add up, but I wouldn't let them manage my bank account.
Zing?
Do you know a man named Khan? He's a shifty-looking guy with a scar on his left cheek.
No, monsieur. Has this man any connection with the bombing of the cafe?
Yes.
Yes. I believe Khan was the name he used when he hired the clown costume. Do you recognize the man in this photograph?
No, monsieur.
It's the guy who bombed the cafe. The clown.
This man looks nothing like a clown.
Oh,
He's taken off his grease paint and costume.
Then there is nothing to link this man with the killing.
Nothing? Look at those murderous eyes.
Hardly likely to get him convicted.
well, if he was still in the clown costume when we took the picture, would you just go around hunting for clowns in the city? You would be arresting a lot of innocent people while he would go free because he wouldn't be wearing the costume anymore, you dumbass. Now I can see why this old man is still a gendarme and not an inspector or anything else.
Is Rosso here?
Yes, he is. You wish to speak to him?
Yes, I do.
One moment, monsieur.
Un moment, monsieur. Ah oui, oui.
Stobart is here to see you, monsieur.
A croissant.
Did he say what it was about?
No, monsieur.
Very well.
Well, you didn't ask what it was about. You just wanted... I just wanted to see Rosso. That's all. You didn't ask us, what is this about, then?
Hi, Inspector. Remember me?
But of course, Mr. Stobart. My mind is a well-ordered faculty.
I'm sure.
A mental classification system that's the envy of the Bibliothèque Nationale.
You're right.
No tricks, mark you, monsieur. Just exercise.
Whatever you say.
Just as our muscles waste through inactivity, so our minds decay.
You're right about that, though.
But there is no need. If only people would learn to exercise their wits daily.
I try.
If he was trying to impress me, it worked.
Yeah.
He was pompous and patronizing, but he had style.
True.
Eh bien, if you called about the bombing, you're too late.
In case...
Investigations have been closed.
Should known.
I've been taken off the case.
Why?
What about the murderer, the dead guy?
It is out of my hands.
By whom? Who took it over? What happened? Why are you not in the case anymore?
Do you recognize the man in this photograph?
No.
It's the face of a killer.
The man who bombed the cafe?
The photograph was taken soon after the explosion. He'd escaped through the sewers, leaving a trail of clues behind him.
Circumstantial evidence, Stobart. None of it proves a thing.
I found this tissue in the sewer.
It would have been best if you'd left it there.
I knew somebody would say something like that. Pretty much everybody has said something like that.
Does this red nose mean anything to you?
That I'm a
I
clown.
imagine it means you have not given up your pursuit of the clown.
Oui, oui.
You're absolutely right.
Monsieur. We will not give up.
Don't you want to know what I found out about the killer?
I told you, monsieur, the case is closed. I have washed my hands of the whole affair.
Then I'll have to continue my investigations without your help.
No. You must forget the business of the clown completely.
Why?
Go back to being an ordinary tourist, Stobart.
Do tell us why we should stop. Are there some higher powers that have told you not to continue the investigation? Perhaps somebody who is controlling this con person and telling you to stop chasing him because they don't want to be revealed. The plot thickens. Ooh.
Did you find out the ID of the guy who was killed in the explosion?
I already knew who he was.
Really?
I heard that the bomb victim's name was Plantow.
Your sources are reliable.
He was a big shot at the Treasury, wasn't he? Maybe that's why you've been taken off the case.
I'm sorry, monsieur. I cannot comment.
Haha! We have you now, Rosso. Too bad. You seem like a cool guy to investigate this thing. But since they've taken you off the case, tough luck.
What was that psycho-detective business you did in the cafe?
It is my theory that the passions evoked in violent crimes create ripples in the ether, invisible to all but the possessor of a highly developed and receptive mind.
I'm impressed. Can you bend spoons, too?
I didn't think a man of your obvious intelligence would stoop to mockery.
I'm
Hey,
not mocking. I've had personal experience of the power of the mind. I used to get ignored at parties until I read a book that changed my life.
Really? What was it called?
Hypnotism for Fun and Profit. He looked at me as if I'd farted at a funeral.
The power of mesmerism is a rare gift, not a party trick.
Well, mesmerism is more powerful than just hypnotizing. Because mesmerism is, controlling the human mind. Not just doing suggestives.
You're not gonna try any of that psychic interrogation on me, are you?
Do you find the thought of my probing distasteful?
Yeah.
Let's just say I'd rather you didn't. I've got more doubts than doubting Thomas when it comes to mysticism.
Too bad. I think you would make an interesting subject under controlled regression.
The day I let anyone mess with my mind hasn't dawned yet.
Or ever will.
So long, Inspector.
You have a nice day now, you hear? I won't be coming back anymore. Trust me. You are useless to us. Both of you. And away we go. Let's go hunt down some Khan, shall we? To the Hotel Ubu. Hotel Ubu we go. But first we save, because this is one of the parts where we can actually die, if we're not careful enough. I wonder if those two are gangsters of some
The
kind.
sign listed the price of rooms, and boy, were they expensive. The killer must have been earning a fat wad to pay for accommodation like this.
Or maybe somebody was paying it for him. You know.
The man looked like an amiable Bigfoot.
I want to say he's a Bigfoot. He's more like...
The
I
guy
don't know.
looked just like a weasel.
Not a Bigfoot. He looks more like a, sweaty meatball. Let's talk to these nice-looking gentlemen.
Excuse me.
Yes?
Have you heard of a guy called Plantar?
No. That name means nothing to me.
Oh, you are Italian, of course. Very stereotypical of you. Being a gangster and all. I mean, seriously, this is very stereotypical.
I'm looking for a clown.
Are you trying to be funny?
No, I really am looking for a clown.
There are no clowns here except you.
Or you're a partner. Haha! Dang. Let me guess. You're Guido, and the other guy is Alfredo, and the Alfredo has like a Godfather type of a voice. You know, a very typical Italian voice. Or something like that. I'm sure of it. That's at least what I remember.
Do you know a man by the name of Khan?
No, I don't.
It's very important I get to see him, and
I told you. I don't know it.
do you recognize the guy in this photograph?
No, I never saw it.
Forget it. Excuse me?
Yeah?
Ha! I did remember correctly.
Do you recognize the guy in this photograph?
Is this a trick question?
No, I simply asked if you recognized him.
Okay then. No, I don't.
You are the smart one of these two, aren't you?
Do you happen to know a guy named Khan?
That ain't nobody I know.
I'm sorry to be a burden on your brain. Have you seen a guy dressed as a clown?
No, I ain't. Don't tell me I missed him. Oh, that's too bad. I love the clowns, don't you?
I've seen daytime television that was funnier.
I love it when the little guys get hurt.
That figures.
Mm-hmm.
Custard pies, hose pipe down the pants, then smack! A plank in the kisser.
Yeah, we can tell what kind of a person you are right away.
You ever meet a guy called Plantar?
No, I ain't.
You missed your chance. If you're quick, you'll catch him at the coroner's. See you later.
Not if you see me first.
That's not the saying. But then again, I wasn't expecting anything intellectual coming out of him.
The lobby was quiet, almost deserted.
Well, it's not that big of a hotel. Reserved only for the finest of customers. She's very good.
The woman was obviously English. She had all the qualities of Boadicea, Elizabeth I, and Margaret Thatcher rolled into one. It wasn't a pretty sight.
Yeah, I'm sure she might not be a looker, but she does have the attitude.
The figure of a sexless youth was frozen in mid-skip with a silly grin on its stone lips.
Sexless. I can definitely tell that is a girl.
I recognized the guy. It was the Nobel Prize winner from the country whose name I couldn't pronounce.
Yeah, you saw that article on the newspaper from the explosion.
Hanging from a brass hook was a key and a plastic tag. The clerk wore a disdainful expression, like he'd been born with it.
Maybe it's Maybelline.
It was the register of guests staying at the hotel. I want some information.
Who are you? The police?
I'm conducting a private investigation.
Ah, I know only too well what you mean. That is one of the drawbacks of the catering business.
Catering?
When people book into an hotel, they leave their morals at home, no?
Well, I guess so. And also, did you pull out earplugs before we started this conversation? You don't like her piano playing, do you? Douchebag. She's great. She's really good at it. Earplugs, of all things.
About the key hanging on the hook over there.
Oui, monsieur.
Which room is it for?
Number 21.
Is that room taken?
No. The guests checked out this morning.
Do you know a man named Plantard?
No, monsieur.
I'm looking for a man who dresses like a clown.
This is a highly respectable hotel, monsieur. There are no clowns here.
If you say so.
And also, I got a feeling that you should stop asking about the clown there, George. I mean, seriously. You really think that he would have dressed up as the clown in here?
Do you have a guest by the name of Khan?
No, monsieur. Perhaps you would care to check the register.
Do you recognize the man in this photograph?
Yes, monsieur. That man is one of our guests.
What name?
I cannot tell you that.
Asshole.
The man who calls himself Khan has a scar on his left cheek.
Raymond? I tell you, I do not know a man named Khan.
Maybe not, but I noticed a change in his expression when I mentioned the scar.
Yeah, we just showed the picture of Khan.
Can you tell me which room the man in the photograph has taken?
Oh, no, monsieur. That information is confidential.
As always.
I'd like to check into room 21.
That is not possible.
Why not?
How come? You said it was vacant.
Yeah.
It is reserved for another guest.
Rats.
But
No,
when...
monsieur. Dutch.
Ah! Nice one.
Thanks for your help, buddy. There was no one registered under the name of Khan, but the name in the book for room 22 was Merlin.
Merlin.
Excuse me, didn't I see your picture in the news? You're that Nobel Prize winner from some unpronounceable Eastern European state.
Yes, that is me, in person.
I don't want to worry you, but have you had any threats on your life? You know, mysterious phone calls, letters made up of headlines cut from the newspaper.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Life threats. You know, the usual stuff. Somebody tried to assassinate you or kill you. They're just threatening your life in different kind of ways, like George already said. How can you not know what we're talking about? A simple no would have been a good answer.
Do you know a guy called Plantow?
I don't know anybody in Paris.
Oh, well, this guy's dead anyhow.
Why do you ask me about dead men? I have seen enough of death to last me a lifetime.
It's an investigation.
I'm, sure you have.
Ever heard of investigations?
Have you seen a clown?
I beg your pardon?
The clown. A guy in funny pants. Have you seen him?
My pants are from England.
Not yours.
Marks and Spencer. They are a pleasure and a comfort to wear, with much support.
I'm sure it is.
I'm real glad to hear that. You know, it's good to know you Nobel Prize winners are human too.
In my country, the people make do with string and egg cartoons.
For pants?
For everything. Oppression is the mother of ingenuity.
Yeah, I'm sure that people make everything out of string and egg cartons. Stereotype much? It's a poor country. I'm doing everything I can for my country. We live on just strings and cow hides. And we're running very fast out of cattle. So now we try to take sheep wool, but we don't know how to make wool out of it. We just use the wool itself. You know, oppressed Eastern European poor countries, as always in stories, right? Right.
Do you recognize this man? He calls himself Khan.
Yes, I know this man. Why do you carry his photograph?
I'm a private detective. What's your interest in Khan?
He is an enemy of my people.
You tell?
You know he's a killer.
Of course, amongst other things.
He once received news he has potato. He ran to post office. There is no potato. He's very much crying. True, Chase. True. Maybe because I'm talking to this guy, maybe I should be doing my Arstotzkan accent with him. Nah.
Would you help me investigate Khan?
That is not possible. My instructions are to observe. I cannot jeopardize my position as an honored guest of this country's government.
Well, too bad.
Thanks for your help.
Goodbye.
Good riddance.
It was a magnificent old Steinway piano.
Ma'am.
Hi there, ma'am.
Well, hello. What can I do for you?
I'm looking for a man.
You disappoint me, my dear. For one foolish moment, I thought. But never mind.
Ah.
Aren't you going to tell me your name?
George. George Stobart, ma'am.
How sweet! I once had a stable boy called George. I am Lady Piermont. The common reaction is to kneel and stutter, but it's not obligatory.
A real lady? I mean, you're an honest-to-God aristocrat?
Oh, I don't know about that. Few of my ancestors are honest, not even to God. I can trace my family back to the Normans, but don't let that intimidate you, George.
Sure.
Beneath that impressive pedigree, I'm just flesh and blood.
Well, it's good to know
The
that.
blood may be blue, but the flesh is the plump beef of old England, so to speak. You appear distracted, George. Is there any way I can help you?
She's very nice. She's down to earth, even if she is blue-blooded. Her voice is worse than your voice. Hey! Are you dissing my voice acting? I do a good job with my voice acting. I'm the best voice actor in the world. But she's supposed to be the ultimate aristocrat snob, so of course her voice is really bad. I mean, she has to be that all that monocle style of talking. And also, when you do this voice for the aristocratic Englishman with the monocle and all, you have to have the buck teeth. You cannot really say that I'm doing it, but trust me, I am doing it because it belongs into the role. Now let's ask questions.
Are you here in Paris on vacation?
No, darling, I'm on holiday.
I needed to get away after Algy's funeral.
Algy?
I didn't realize you were mourning the loss of a loved one.
I'm not. He was my husband.
Ah! Don't make me laugh when I'm drinking, lady. Damn, that was cold. That's right. I like her. She's cool.
I'm sorry to hear about your husband's death.
You wouldn't be if you knew him, my dear.
Then why did you marry him?
Gave me the opportunity to take a well-deserved holiday. Daphne suggested a change of scenery. Paris, she said. The wild romance is just what you need to take your mind off the inquest. Well, the closest I came to romance was being wooed by a drunken Breton chef. I must say I was disappointed with his coq au vin. Not at all what I was expecting. I was thinking of cutting my holiday short, packing my bags and heading back to Hempstead. That was until last night.
What happened?
What happened to you last night?
I was stricken, Mr. Stobart. Cupid's arrow has cleft my bosom.
Uh-huh.
They couldn't really miss.
It was just as I'd always imagined it should be. The intimacy of candlelight, romantic music tinkling across the room, and then a stranger's glance.
Yeah?
Those brooding eyes, that suave manner, those tight trousers.
Uh-huh.
He was the man I'd been waiting for all my life.
Okay.
I'm glad he finally turned up after all these years.
Ah, but it wasn't to be. He was merely toying with my affections. And if I ever catch up with him, he's dead.
I wonder who it was.
Who was the guy who led you on?
His name is Merlin.
Gone. For this kind of a moment, you need to do it. Gone!
I'm looking for a murderer.
Good heavens! You're a private detective.
Sort of, kind
That's
of.
correct, ma'am.
What's the term you Americans use? It's on the tip of my tongue.
Private eye.
I believe what you're thinking of is Dick.
Precisely.
Nudge, nudge, wink, wink.
Have you come across a man who calls himself Khan?
I'm
Khan!
familiar with only one person named Khan.
Khan!
Genghis Khan, the legendary Mongol barbarian.
Don't say so many times.
No, darling. Kevin.
Kevin Khan? I never heard of him.
I'm
Kevin!
surprised if you had, darling. He's a pharmacist in Hemel Hempstead. Organizes fundraising for the Rotarians. Lovely man.
Does he have a scar on his cheek?
I really wouldn't know, sweetie.
How wouldn't you know? You have never seen Kevin?
Did you know there's a gangster out front?
Two of
What
them.
makes you think he's a gangster?
The Italian suit and the bulge in his pocket?
I know plenty of men with Italian suits and bulges in their pockets.
Wink,
That
wink.
doesn't necessarily make them gangsters.
Bow chicka wow wow.
Would you distract the clerk while I borrow a key?
Are you asking me to aid you in a criminal act, darling?
Yes.
Oh no, it's the key to an empty room.
And why, may I ask, do you wish to gain access to an empty room? Do you plan to squat?
No, ma'am.
Scouts honor?
I was never in the Boy Scouts, ma'am.
Oh, you should have been. What were your parents thinking of?
Nothing.
It's a fine way for a boy to get licked into shape.
Licked.
Now tell me, why do you want to get into that room?
I'm a detective. We do these things.
Now you're being ridiculous. If you can't supply me with a plausible explanation, I'm not interested.
Okay. Let's find ourselves a plausible explanation then.
Do you recognize the man in this photograph?
My God, it's him! That's Merlin!
She represented everything I loved about the English. The lady was totally deranged. Merlin? You mean King Arthur's wizard?
Good heavens, no! Monsieur Merlin is a fellow guest. He's the man I've been telling you about. That's the man who spurned me.
Okay.
The man you know as Merlin is a fake.
What do you mean, sweetie?
He's a murderer. He also uses the name Khan.
I am shocked, Mr. Stobart. Shaken.
Not stirred.
I took him to be a gentleman. A man of honor.
Do you know, I'd rather like to assist you in stitching him up.
So maybe now we can go into the room? Or get the room key?
When did you last see Merlin?
It was no more than an hour ago.
He came downstairs and spoke to that clerk chappie. Something passed hands. I couldn't see what exactly.
Huh.
A briefcase?
No, smaller than that. A bundle of papers, perhaps. The clerk put it in the hotel safe and Merlin went out.
Are you sure you saw Merlin putting documents in the safe?
Yes, darling, positive.
I wonder what they were.
Obviously something of great importance.
Obviously.
Yeah. I'd sure like to get my hands on whatever it is. I'll bet they had something to do with Plantar's briefcase. Has Merlin returned to the hotel?
No, he hasn't. Are you going to search his room?
If I could get in there, I would.
And that's why you want the key?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
I shouldn't think my feminine charms would be much use in this case.
Why not?
But a good dose of English arrogance might do the trick.
Awesome. Let's do it.
I say! You there? Flunky!
Oui, madame.
Listen carefully. You do understand English, don't you?
But of course, madame.
Good. I wish to deposit some jewelry for safekeeping.
I understand.
Are you quite certain?
Oh, bien sûr, madame.
Over to you, my dear.
Nice walk there, clerk dude. Very dainty. I can see how she said that her feminine charms are not gonna work on the dude.
What kind of evidence can George find in the hotel room? Tune in next time for the next episode of Broken Sword.